So I was asked to check out the Internet Historians Ever Given, Ever Taken Away. This is about a giant container ship. I don't know if this is exactly the one I'm remembering, but if it is, we're in for a ride on this one, boys. Let's just jump in and see where this goes, because the goes is probably, oh God, why? Unless I'm wrong. Maybe it's something happy, and I'm not wrong. But how often am I ever right? So,
This video was made possible by Saley.
We're doing a video about a ship, and they're immediately doing the... That choice had to be intentional.
And some very patient people over at Patreon. Okay, music fades in.
Also, I've never watched the Internet Historian, so I don't know their style. I just heard it's good.
Let me weave you a tale of a windswept night beyond the old Egyptian sands.
I like the music choice.
Where the water plays coy with the shore, and the coy are sure to play in the water.
Are they literally using the intro mixed with actual fish from DreamWorks?
Where the desert wolves make love.
Not where I thought that was going. Okay. Also, Zero. Wow, damn, man. And your vote, Watch Punch Out Boxer, is the biggest cheer too? God damn. Well, I guess we know the first two videos is one from Chat's Choice and one from Zero right after that. I'll have to write that down later, though. Remind me.
To the moon.
Kinky.
Exterior day. This is the Suez Canal.
Egypt.
Undeniably, Egypt's most...
Really? We're going with the freaking denial pun right off the bat? I'm never going to acknowledge that. You can even say I'm in a river.
Famous body of water. Nothing bad ever happens here. Oh, except for that one time.
One time? Oh, that... Dude, this thing goes through the Congo, man. It ain't one. And Egypt and all of everywhere.
Okay, so there's a ship, and it's called the Ever Given. And it's going up the Suez Canal really, really fast, probably. And you think that, well, the Port Authority would call up, and they'd be like,
Captain, you are going way too fast.
But the captain, he's wicked sit cool, so he's like...
They're just jealous of my passion for going fast through critical trade infrastructure. Increase speed.
If you will not slow...
Container ships should not go fast in general. To give you an idea what I mean, I'm not sure exactly how far it translates, but the Suez Canal, or not even canals, but container ships don't go fast. Like, if you're hitting 50 miles per hour on a ship, that's probably faster because they go in knots. And knots, I think, are roughly similar to miles, but not quite the same. Long story short, if you're thinking 70 miles an hour in a car is roughly a good speed to travel, no, that's never going to happen in a ship. Maybe a speedboat, not a ship. No, if you hit 20 miles per hour or the equivalent in knots, that's pretty damn fast. Like, realistically, very fast. Because there are forces of the water moving can tear apart things at certain speeds, and you can do some major damage to the boat if you hit anything at that speed. Steel, it looks really hard to bend until you get something that decides that it's just hard enough to tear open everything that it touches, which can happen. Yeah. Also, according to the knots, are around 1.8 kilometers, where a mile is 1.6. So they're actually close enough that 20 miles would be a little, maybe like 23 knots. And if a really fast ship going 30 in military-grade, nuclear-powered ships are, well, I think the nuclear ones go slower because they're usually bigger, but if a really powerful, really strong ship hits 32 knots as a really high-end goal that they'll acknowledge, and the higher ones they won't acknowledge because they don't want to give the exact measurements away, yeah, this thing getting up to moving fast at all is not good.
Slow down, prepare to meet the full might of the Egyptian military.
Did they fire on it?
2 of Egypt's fastest fighter jets scramble on the runway.
Are those real planes? I mean, not here, but...
kept adding power.
Faster! The people of Europe need these Chinese knockoffs of European goods.
And they got all sorts of technology to go like top speed.
Don't go faster, I beseech you.
But everyone on the crew was loving it. Yeah, go faster. But then...
Look out! Someone left a ramp in the middle of the canal.
I ain't afraid.
They put on double sunglasses.
It was at this point that the captain chose to do a wicked sick jump.
Oh my god.
Lens flare.
I'm sorry, wait, what did that actually say?
A wicked sick jump. Lens flare.
There was a lens flare at the Suez Canal and it made the ship jump even more epic. Oh, okay. I thought this was actually real headlines, but no, these are the ones he made. Okay.
But they overshot it. They were gonna collide with a gently sloping sandy bank.
Are they gonna play this off
on
right?
the handbrake.
Oh, now everything will be fine.
Brace for impact.
But it was too late. Collision.
Boom.
Literally everybody died.
That's just how it goes. Rip Earth 1.
Ever given, ever taken away.
God. I'm not going to acknowledge the freight joke.
All right, see you in a year. What do you mean it's not long enough?
Oh, I just got they're making a Dune movie reference. It's the freaking Baron. Okay. Yeah, wait, I'm being told this is the internet historian. Toned down. Okay.
Wikipedia, ChatGPT. Add the music. They love that. A reaction GIF? That's a good one. No, this video's too good. Dial it back a little. Okay, let me start again. I'll do the phony voice too.
He's getting a lot of usage out of the Dune movie to give just a giant body bathing in black oil. Oh my god.
Better. Okay, so here's what really
Following is based on true events. However, most details come from secondary sources, while some conversations were recorded, including the VDR data on the ship. Almost none of that material has been made available to the public still. So we took a few liberties to fill in the gaps. All characterization be considered fictional, not reflective of the real people involved and interpretation of the storytelling, and entertainment purposes only. Also, we play pretty fast and loose with certain details of the order of events. Be cool, and please don't bother any of the people involved in the Suez incident. We're just here to have a good time. Are you telling me they didn't make a wicked sick jump? Well, fuck, man. I'm actually disappointed now. I wanted to see a freight ship go all out, man. I needed to pull a 20-degree turn on that thing, stop on a dime, and then just T-pose. Where does it get the arm to T-pose? They just have them. That's all the reason I need. And I didn't do that. I'm going to be disappointed now.
happened.
Oh, God. Everything is great.
This story begins in Malaysia. Of course, you already know, but that's this one over here. And at a port named Tanjung Pelepus is the container ship known as the Ever Given.
Yeah. Ooh, also, I'm just going to pull this up quickly. Croc, you mentioned the intro was phrased reminding me that recording of U.S. carrier telling Spanish coast to move aside when Lighthouse told them on a collision course. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That sounds about right. And with some ships, who knows, maybe they can actually make that work a bit. I mean, before it doesn't. And then it really doesn't.
The last of the cargo is loaded onto the ship, and the captain of the ship, Krishnan Kanthaval, is there with his crew of 20. Hello.
Not enough sunglasses.
At this point, Kanthaval probably said something like, all right.
I hate everything about all of the Amazon packages everywhere because this seems way too normal. And it's like, there's probably a few regulations against this. I mean, can you imagine a ship that's being featured in a video online about some kind of incident having things in there that maybe not seem normal? Nah, that's not the case.
The boat's tummy is all full of cargo. We're almost ready to get going. So Evergreen, the operating company of the ship, would have called ahead and booked passage for the ship.
My God.
Yes,
I know that number.
adult ship ticket, please. Large. How many containers? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now this guy at the operating company is on the line to the Suez Canal Authority. And they are in charge of all of the operations of the Suez Canal. All right, thank you for choosing Suez Waterways. You are scheduled for March 23rd.
Oh, this happened recently. It might be the one I'm thinking about, but I'm not entirely sure. I remember hearing about this, though. So March 23rd, 2021. Ah! I just remembered what happened around this time. I'm sure it's fine. Granted, nothing really happened differently. I think it was in 2020 things went... Bleh. So this is already a year in.
You are 922nd in queue. All right, we've got a Supermax container coming through on March 23rd. Pulling up the stats now. The Ever Given, one of the largest container ships in the world. Over 400 meters long, 60 meters wide. Only 10% smaller than the world's largest aircraft carrier.
Funny thing, I think both of those have been surpassed within the last year. And one of the ships surpassing it is literally meant to decommission deep sea drilling platforms. Fun looking ship. It actually is literally a fork shape, specifically a tuning fork shape. It's terrifyingly huge though.
Able to carry over 20,000 of these shipping containers. Here's a guy and a sandwich for scale.
Gonna be completely honest, out of all of this, that's a pretty damn good sandwich by comparison to size.
All right, navigator, helmsman, Gene. Let's get going.
Gene.
We wouldn't want to hold up the other ships. With a teary goodbye, the Ever Given sets sail from Malaysia and makes course for the Netherlands. Let's go to the map. Malaysia, and you already know, but the Netherlands is over here. The route's so simple, you just go from here over to... Oh. We're blocked by Africa, sir. Should we just head back? Don't worry, I know a shortcut.
I mean, to be fair, the reason that the Suez Canal exists is because the southern tip of Africa has some incredibly intense weather, because everything near Antarctica gets really fucked up because there's no continents breaking up. So the circular force is really strong on top of the weather patterns being intense, and it eats things, man.
To that inlet. It's called the Red Sea. Captain, it's blue. I know. In a bit or...
I'm actually very disappointed about that myself when I found out. Oh, and Josh, will we be doing more Norfolk Wizard games tonight? Probably not, if only because I need to head off early today. And I need to be reminded by chat that at 2 o'clock that I need to start wrapping it up, because otherwise I'm going to fail on husband duty, and I don't want to do that again. I mean, I haven't done it. I don't want to do that at all, ever. Yeah.
Over a week, the Ever Given cruises all the way to the Red Sea. And on the way, someone on the crew points out Djibouti and says it aloud.
Oh, wait, that's where it is?
Djibouti, because it's fun to say.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be a cargo ship captain, I can tell.
Yep. It's still not as bad as Nigeria or Niger. Really wish it was spelled different in English.
Yeah, that much. Captain, we've got another problem on the sat-nav. There's more land in the way.
My
How are we
God.
supposed to get through an obstacle like this?
Sick jump.
Should I just head back? Now, if this was 1868, Canterville would be in big trouble. But luckily, in 1869, someone happened to dig a big channel. Right from one side of this isthmus to the other.
Wait, 1869. Oh! For some reason, I thought this was much newer than that. Huh.
And filled it with water, they did.
It's older than I thought.
Which meant that ships no longer needed to circumnavigate Africa.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing personal. It's a geographic thing.
It's not even the time spent on it. That, like, once you're past the Cape, or the southern point of Africa, well, also South Africa, it's much easier sailing than everywhere else. It's literally just that thing. The closer you get to Antarctica, the more fucked up every bit of water is.
Late that evening, the Ever Given arrives at the Gulf of Suez. Here on the map. It's a big open area for ships to park. And there are ships everywhere, sitting idle, waiting for their turn to pass through the canal. Now the helmsman is kind of driving around the area, looking for a place to park and drop anchor.
Yep.
But then, something captures his attention. Hey, what's that mysterious-looking ship over there? It looks abandoned. MV Aman. 'Cause 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 Do not speak its name, helmsman. Why
What?
not? Look, there's a spot. That's a handicap. They park the ship, drop anchor, and radio into the Suez Canal Authority. Thank you for joining the queue. Typical wait time is a few hours.
They have an image of Cleopatra in the background going, do it for her. Oh my God. Monday morning traffic. Call me, media one, send emails. Be boat safe, just sink. Style, independence, navigation. Keep it chill, just sink. They put more work on this than they have any right to, and I love it.
Up to one business day. Why do we have to wait? Why can't we just go?
Unironically, though, for some of the waiting times I've heard for ships, that actually sounds amazing. To give an example, the busiest port in the world is the Port of Los Angeles. The wait time is currently down right now to, I think, a week, although it might have jumped up again. But I've heard it hit at the worst waiting periods 3 months. I think that was literally an extreme event, though, that didn't last forever, but that was the estimated time, not how long actually people waited. It's not usually that high. The crazy part is, with wait times like that, surprising no one else goes around to other locations except the wait time, I think, to even try to get close to the Panama Canal is just a bitch, and it's a smaller location than some container ships at this point.
Go straight through. Because we've got rules here at the canal. A big book of them. No running, no dive bombing, and blah, blah, blah. Somewhere way down the back of the manual it says, all vessels entering or leaving the canal must have a pilot. And in fact, a ship as large as yours needs 2. These pilots are employees of the Canal Authority who understand the perils of the route. Kind of like a consultant to the captain. And they stand around going, yes, yes, go here, turn coming up here, watch out for the geese.
They will bite.
So just stand by for a while, yeah? All right, nothing to do till this pilot arrives. Guess I'll take a little bit of me time. I'm off to my cabin, fellas. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And so just after midnight, Canterville heads back to his quarters to take a nap.
But
quite a cozy scene.
Oh God, he's still using the Baron. I guess you're asking about the How to Play series? Yeah, I'll get to it eventually. Just finishing up the How to Play Spy first.
Hey. But all is not well on the Ever Given tonight. There seems to be some trouble.
What?
With the weather.
Oh.
2:30 a.m. Canterville wakes up. Outside is the loud rattle of shipping containers sparring with the wind. Oh. Loud enough to capture Canterville's attention. Rah-rah. He dashes up to the bridge.
How much wind does there have to be for shipping containers, which are usually very heavy and very tied down, to shake? Oh, God.
All right, what's the status on it being really, really windy outside? The wind is up to 35 knots, but the Ever Given is fine and the anchor is keeping us held. All right, it sounds like I can head back to my quarters then. Wait, Captain. I think we need to move the ship. Yeah, those guys are getting closer and closer to us. We're surrounded by ships like the Al Nasriyah. Their anchors can't withstand the wind, and they are being dragged about. We need more buffer, or there's risk of a collision. Good thinking. All right, duty engineer, prep the engines. Aye. The ship kicks to life.
Honestly, I was expecting a Scotty reference on that one. A little disappointed in that.
The helmsman steers the Ever Given to get further away from the other ships.
But
this whole thing might be cancelled. Port control. Although this waiting area is delightful, the weather outside is very frightful. Is passage through the canal still happening? Not cancelled. Hold position. Your pilot is wrapping up and will be on his way to your vessel soon.
In how many days?
Wait. Captain, if we're struggling not to hit ships in this big open area, it's going to get pretty dicey when we have to navigate through a narrow channel like the Suez.
Yep.
Yes. Although you should have said, spoiler warning.
I have no idea what's going to happen next. This is absolutely a surprise to me. Whatever would they mean? Oh, God, I remember those old remotes.
On Channel Ad Time.
What?
Welcome back to Raising Sailing. I'm Saley
What
Man,
the
professional
fuck?
traveler and eSIM user. Finding tourists to get them huge savings on an eSIM plan. It ain't for the faint of heart. But if there's one thing I've learned in all my years, when they're traveling,
Ads are usually approved by the people making them. So this is something they looked at and went, yeah, this represents our brand. Okay. Also, I do appreciate the fact that the ad time down here is explicitly a reference in the style of, I think it's Discovery. Yeah, I think it's Discovery that does that, or Time Warner.
they need data.
I can't get an Uber. I didn't sort out my data before I left.
This is actually
Got
freaky. That
another
guy's
one.
mouth, the way he
Try
was animated.
this. First, we download the Saley app on your phone. Then we choose how much data we want and where. Then we add the code Internet Historian for 15% off. And don't forget the most
If I
important
traveled, I would
part.
actually use this.
Mwah.
Oh, I hate the
I just
pic-
gave your
just-
phone international data.
Oh, God. Like, just... Like, you can actually see where you edit out a different phase in here, and the eyes are like... It's like a literal... Someone took Picasso and decided to add an AI bounce effect to it.
Mwah.
And I'm being told again, this is
I just gave your
toned
phone
down
international
Internet
data
Historian.
using the Saley app.
Thank you, Saley Man. Very
Uber
cool.
has arrived.
So download the Saley
Pretty
app or
fast.
scan the QR code on the screen now and use the code Internet
Oh,
Historian
boy.
to get 15% off at checkout.
It's so beautiful here in the hills of Switzerland. If only I could listen to podcast in the background.
Here comes Saley Man. Over
Are there that
200
many
destinations,
towers in Switzerland?
24/7 live chat
Probably,
support,
actually, probably
and
no.
no physical SIM or roaming fees. 'Cause
Oh, wait,
it's
no physical
just an
sim.
app.
Oh.
Could I have my phone back, please?
No.
At Saley, family comes first, and data comes second.
I
Data
just
comes
realized that's a paper
first.
boat hat because we're
They're
doing the
both
ship
tied for
video.
first.
Tonight on Raising Saley.
Anyone can get sick. Dead ones. Sorry, I have a boyfriend ones. Or regular.
I have a presentation in 15 minutes at the UN Security Council, and I didn't download the slides. Without this presentation, I'm worried they're going to nuke North Sentinel Island again.
15
Okay. He went there. Oh, God.
minutes to go when he hasn't got the slides.
I'll be the guy who started the next World War without those damn slides.
10 minutes
How
to
old
go.
is this video? 2 months. Honestly, this guy being the only reason World War III starts is seeming a little optimistic.
When he hasn't got the slides.
History will not look kindly on me without those slides.
Here comes
Don't
Saley.
worry. You got competition.
Now you have 10 gigabytes of data on your phone. Cheaper than most phone providers.
I love you, Saley Man.
Hush, little one. I saved it.
The Saley app really saved me.
This truly was our darkest hour. But we prevailed. It's not an easy job.
Don't you just
But
love...
Saley gets me
Oh my
through.
God, he just murdered a man. Multiple
So download
people.
the Saley app or scan the QR code on screen and use...
I want to reiterate again. Usually ads are approved. Saley, we murder people, was approved to go out. Sure. Who do they think they are? Hershey? Oh, no, wait. They actually did kill people. Coke? No, they also kill people. Okay, never mind. I see where this is going corporate-wise. It's probably fine for them.
Internet Historian as the code to get 15% off at checkout.
God.
Get some damn data on your phone. Why not? Ad over. Some time has passed. We're back on the bridge.
3
There's
a.m.
the helmsman. Captain's gone back to his quarters. Pilots won't be here for hours. Then suddenly, an idea.
Meth.
The helmsman takes it upon himself
Don't actually do that.
to navigate a little bit of art. Tee-hee-hee, says the helmsman. As long as
I know people who have explicitly driven when they're in a tracked vehicle that will show their pattern, driving a pattern that they know explicitly will look like that. I'm not even surprised. I don't even know that's a joke. For all I know, that might have actually literally happened, and I wouldn't even be surprised. Not as surprised as finding out that apparently crocodiles do climb trees, and I don't want to think about that. But so yeah, sure, why not?
no one checks the nav data, this won't come back to bite me at all. A couple of hours pass. The wind dies down just a little. No ships crashed into the Ever Given.
Yet.
But a small one did pull up beside it.
Oh, the pilot.
Captain, pilots are here. welcome aboard. Oh, hey, Captain. Yes, we're running late. Where's the helm? We don't know what the pilots' names are, so we're just going to go with blue.
They were
and
probably
red.
cut out then.
Okay, I think we should move ahead at about 14 kilometers. That's right. Ahead, 14 kilometers per hour.
Oh, they're going in kilometers, not knots.
The Ever Given joins a convoy of ships.
And as it was pointed out to me before, I'm just going to go up and find where that was. Someone did mention the conversion between knots and... Where was that? No, I went too far. I think it was like 1.8 knots was 1.6 kilometers per hour or mile per hour. And if they're doing that, it's not a direct conversion.
Taking position at the entrance to the
So one of them is probably going too fast.
Convoy, checking in. Ready.
Oh, it might just be
All
him
right,
just using
everybody,
numbers for all I
we
know.
want to be alert. Stay focused. Yeah, Captain. I'll follow the other ships. I'll try not to get lost. Hold on, helmsman. And the audience. This is a much more perilous journey than you might know. What? A big straight line? It is what...
Oh, wait, it's an open canal. Oh, the reason I'm freaking out is like, I was assuming there was a lock somewhere to stabilize the flow between the Mediterranean and the Red Sea, which would be connected to the Indian Ocean. But if it's an open canal, that is a very turbulent bit of water trying to stabilize between two different forces at usually two different heights. So one might be flowing to the other, but they're all mixing around. There is a lot of, well, it's like a riptide everywhere for the entire length of it. When I was in Massachusetts, there's a canal between mainland and Cape Cod. I only know this because my family lived in the poor section. Yeah. It was poor when they lived there. It was the richest crack den you have ever heard when they got out by dying of old age. Yeah. Apparently there are poor sections of Cape Cod. Who'd have thought? Poor being very relative. Well, I mean, when you're talking about a house that anywhere else would cost $10,000, costing a normal house's value, and everywhere else on Cape Cod would be multi-millions, that's the kind of equivalent we're talking about. The important part is there is an uncontested, like an unlocked canal between the bay and the Atlantic Ocean south, or I guess Buzzards Bay, which connects to the Atlantic. The water there is visibly churning constantly. If you have smaller boats, they will be torn up. If you have metaphorically torn up and maybe not able to sail through it, so you need an actual motor to power through it to survive. This is a much bigger canal with a much larger body of water on either end for a much larger distance. If this is what I think it is, and it's not locked, as in stabilizing the water level at one end to the other so that they're level when you exit, like the Panama Canal is, I wouldn't be surprised if the Panama Canal had that feature based on the Suez Canal construction then.
193 kilometers of narrow waterway.
Is there no
lock?
lock?
I hope you've got some stamina, because it takes 12 hours to traverse. That's a full day trip. Some parts are only 24 meters deep. Oh, that's very shallow. Yes.
It's that shallow.
And only 200 meters wide in some parts. That's very narrow. I've seen McDonald's drive-thrus with more clearance. And you certainly wouldn't want to have an accident, would you? Because 12% of the entire world's sea freight passes through here. If you blocked it, the consequences would be humongous. No pressure, though. Oh, I see. Oh, don't mind him. He gives that speech to everybody. Ahead, 14 kilometers.
It ain't wrong, though.
Yes, pilot. 14 kilometers. Steady on. So into the canal, the Ever
I didn't realize it was so shallow, though.
As they cruise,
that
the
is
winds
news.
swirl back onto the sea. No longer buffered by miles of open water, the sand and dust can blow about with abandon. Low visibility.
Because it's literally a desert on either side. And it's salt water, so it's not like going to make it easier to have things grow either.
Strong
Actually,
winds
it's saltwater
jostle the
plants.
ship. Grit pelts the bow. The Ever Given steams ahead at about the pace of a fast jog.
And you already see where this is going. But because they're already being blown, they have to counter that somehow.
And there's no real build-up here, to be honest. Things go awry almost immediately. How are you coping with the wind?
Badly.
It's manageable. All right, well, the wind is definitely pushing us to the left-hand side. Yes, just try to keep it as centered as you can. Adjusting. These winds are quite something. Do you think we should have insisted they postpone?
I'm honestly wondering why they don't have tugboats helping to straighten out. Probably because it would take so much extra time and they want to get as much moving that they don't want the extra room spent. But maybe that would be worth it for something larger, but I don't know.
The pilots don't seem worried, and they know this water better than anyone. The angle of the wind is particularly nasty, catching the enormous surface area of the ship and constantly nudging it off course.
Yep.
Helmsman, you're still too far to the left. You got to get back to the center. Yeah, I'm trying. Adjusting. The helmsman keeps changing the trajectory of the ship, but he cannot seem to stay in the center. Come on, helmsman, we're still not centered. I know, it's the wind. No matter what they do, they can't seem to get away from the left bank. The wind foils their every countermaneuver.
Yeah, that's going about as much as I thought. Ooh. Also, Croc, remember, the Suez Canal was made by British Empire for early steamboats and sailboats. It was enormous at the time. For modern standards, it's tiny. To be fair, by modern standards, the Panama Canal is tiny. Yeah. I mean, by modern standards, they can build boats so large that they can't fit through most shipping. So, I mean, there's a reason people have actually looked into bringing back hydrogen steamships. Turn out hydrogen steam, like hydrogen lighter than air boats. Or would they be a ship of that size? Essentially, think a blimp, then scale it up to literally kilometers of airspace, because the amount of lift it has does proportionally or disproportionately increase when there's an even more large amount to cover things. So there's people looking into that, because avoiding this right here. The downside being, remember the Hindenburg? That definitely wasn't an accident where the German Nazi party ship was maybe lit on fire. Yeah, they don't usually show the tail in images of the Hindenburg because it kind of does show a very specific symbol. Makes you feel different about that, doesn't it?
This is not as manageable as I thought it would be. Is it going to be like this the whole way? Don't worry, this is really common. It won't be the whole trip. No. The problem is we're going too slow. Red pilot takes the initiative. If we speed up, we can push through the wind. Accelerate to 22 kilometers an hour. Somewhat reluctantly, the helmsman obliges.
I'm not sure how this works in boats, but I do know in cars, when you can feel the wind, speeding up is not the correct option, because you're reducing the amount of force you have on, like, there's less of you touching the ground at any one time. Usually it's just the tires. But the faster you move, the more aerodynamic you get. And if there's any lift at all underneath the car, which you shouldn't have, but sometimes you do, it becomes increased. And even a little bit means you are moving a lot faster, and it has more to play with because there's more force at work. So if it happens to blow in the right way, that doesn't go against your car, but from a side you're not expecting, it can blow you very easily, and you have less time to react.
22 kilometers per hour. Engines engage, and the ship speeds up. Captain, going this fast in heavy winds is needlessly reckless.
Yeah.
There are protocols for this sort of thing. All right, Gene, it's a bit windy. Relax. This must happen all the time. The red pilot was right. The increased speed helps them to fight through the wind and get away from the left-hand bank. However, they can't seem to keep the ship in the very center. Helmsman, you're aimed too severely to the right-hand bank now. We need a bit of leadership.
Also, I'm being told that, according to Keimazo, boats and ships do need more speed to be able to maneuver better. Oh, that's cool. I actually didn't know that.
Here, don't worry, I know what to do. Turn left. Adjusting. The pilot's giving steering instructions now. Captain, is he supposed to do that? Captain, the pilot is not here to give steering orders. You should say something.
God, Gene.
The ship is now consistently snaking left and right and left and right. Turn to the right. So they turn to the right, but then they end up too far to the right. You're too close to the right bank now. Turn to the left.
Am I the only one thinking the best music he could possibly choose right now isn't so much the theme we have, but Benny Hill? Because that seems like where it's going right now.
Yes, I agree. Turn to the left. Look, this is all a bit tense, and we both know where this is going. It's gonna crash. Let's just enjoy it.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. There it is. a gently sloping sandy bank. Red Pilot, we're just consultants. This isn't our job to steer the ship. You're micromanaging. We should only be giving general navigation advice. We're getting too close to the left bank. I can't keep it centered. We have to slow this ship down. If we slow down, the wind will push us into the bank. What do I do? Reduce the speed. The two pilots begin bickering. And not just bickering normally. They're bickering in Arabic. Arabickering. And Canthable's crew does.
If you ever want an idea what that looks like, there is a clip on YouTube somewhere that my wife knows about, but I can never seem to find, where it's just two guys talking about doing something bloody to each other. Now, they're speaking English, but it's with a heavy Arabic accent, and you get the entire impression that these are absolute horrible enemies who will stab each other as fine a second they get the chance. And then in the conversation, that's, oh, okay, good. See you tomorrow then. Have a good day, Tom. Sure, why not? Also, as someone who has been to Detroit, Michigan, it just looks like talking to the cook at the back. Not from you as a customer, like any of the other employees there. It just looks like that. And Croc, you mentioned, I recommend looking into the grounded effect vehicles. They are planes that can only fly on low altitude, but have double air to drag ratio than planes. Oh, I've never actually heard of that. That sounds awesome.
Doesn't speak Arabic. What the hell are they saying? I don't know.
They're from Malaysia,
Neither
yeah.
do I. Does anyone here speak Arabic? The Ever Given has reached its target speed of 22 kilometers an hour, but they're taking wider and wider turns and can't seem to get anywhere near the center of the lane. And the two pilots, they're still fighting. Captain? Captain! Pilots! Captain! The Ever Given then reaches an extreme, unrecoverable angle, pointing acutely to the right, straight for the bank.
He's just enjoying the initial, you are going to crash aspect right now.
We need to turn left. Now. Hard left. Hard to the left. Hard to the left. The rudder turns. But the ship doesn't turn with it. Instead, it slides. Didn't I tell you to turn left?
They lost control.
Why aren't we turning? I am turning to the left, Captain. The ship's not responding. I knew this would happen. It's your fault. The helmsman loses his ability to steer. The ship has gone out of control.
What is going on in the background? I'm not the only one weirded out by that, right? Like, I know this is a reference to something, and I do not know what it is. It's probably a meme or something.
Captain, Canterville finally steps forward. Enough! Helmsman, center the rudder. Reduce speed. Rudder center. Reduce... But...
Okay, one, before we get the inevitable oh shit moment. Oddly enough, this is working similar to when you lose control in a car. You don't keep turning when you're not steering anymore. You have to align with the forces and then slowly recommit from there. Such as, if you are going straight and you start trying to turn and the car doesn't turn because you're on ice, do not turn further because you're still sliding out of control and it does nothing. So what you want to do is then go back to where you were so it's aligned so that the forces might be able to match. Take your foot off the gas. Do not hit the brake and try and regain the correct direction as you lose speed so it might gain traction and move that way. Or other way, you know what I mean. Apparently, aligning the rudder with the way the water is moving is the same way you handle that here. Which, honestly, I had no idea about. It's actually kind of fascinating to me.
But it's too late. Canterville did not intervene in time.
Yeah.
Shit.
According to a person familiar with the VDR audio, Captain Canterville reacted as anyone might in the same situation. Shit, he screamed. 6 days in Suez, the timeline story of the ship, it broke the global trade. Yeah, that would do it. Martin, it's a boat, there's no traction. Dude, I have seen issues, like the actual pictures of the traction happening to rudders. Oh god, yes, there is traction. Not quite the same as in a car, but it definitely does exist. My dad actually had a part-time job working in a boatyard just last year. Yeah, he retired and only started to work 32 hours, and part of that was deliveries for a ship. And one of the things they would do is have random people stay on the boat when they weren't working on it, because they always had to have someone in there while it was moored in the Great Lakes. So while he did that, he would explore the ship, and part of it was why they had it moored in the Great Lakes, which was the sheer force of the water on the rudder had the traction of ripping metal off the front of the rudder. And there's pictures of it that I can't pull up right now because I have no idea how old those pictures are, and I don't want to go back through all of it, but it is really intense to see that steel peels if the water decides it doesn't want to agree with you. Yeah, I'm not talking like it ran into something. I'm talking it just wore down over time, that steel just stopped. It's insane to look at, man. Now, I mean, it doesn't work in the same extent as like on land, where the traction is a controlled like lock-in effect of I'm here, we're not moving. It's more like the kind of traction you get when you have a greasy hand trying to crawl your way on a really slick surface that does have grooves in the floor. Tiles, that's the word I'm looking for, tiles. Apparently it's drag. I'm thinking traction more in just like grip. So it's probably the same concept, different word. I'm using the wrong word. I'm aware of that. But also, how many times can I ever get a word right? The answer is usually 0. He really wants to use all of the Dune references. I'm okay with this. This is why they should have asked Shai
the
Hulud.
vibration through the floor as the bow meets the bank.
Yeah.
That bow, raised 6 meters, slides into the bank with ease, like a hot pencil through pudding.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the rear of the ship is pulled into the opposite bank.
Oof.
The bridge
and effectively cuts off everything, because if they had just crashed to one side, it would have been something they can go around. Hazardous, dangerous, but not blocking it all off. Maybe they can even pull it to the side. All the way across is worse.
Shakes and the crew lurches forward as 300,000 tons of momentum is reduced to 0 in the span of a couple of seconds.
Yep.
We've run aground, cut your engines, Canterville yells out on the radio, because don't forget, these ships are running as a convoy.
Behind them,
which means that the ships behind them have just seen what's happened, and they all have to slam on the brakes. A couple of ships back, the Asia Ruby 3 suffers an engine malfunction, and it cannot stop as quickly as it intends to.
I did not hear about this part.
It nearly plows into the back of the Maersk Denver. They managed to stop themselves just in time and prevent running aground as well. Pan back to the Ever Given. Let us look at it from above. It is diagonally wedged across the entire canal. An unplanned bridge connecting 2 continents. A ship collision of such magnitude, there's almost nothing to compare it to. Maybe Hindenburg, 9/11. I'll keep Googling.
Oh my God.
Hold off on the dramatic sound effects. There's no need to panic just yet. It's like a car tire stuck in the mud. We simply reverse. Full astern. Well, that means full backwards. Propellers at the back of the ship whiz to little effect. Locked in place by the sand. We didn't
because
move.
they hit both sides.
Merely a run-up. Crash astern. That's the most dramatic version of full astern, ramping up to full thrust as quickly as possible. Oof. Nothing. No, stop it. No sound effect just yet. We still have one more option.
I love that guys actually arguing with this.
They're the jets at the front of the ship that give a little bit of extra oomph. Crash astern, full thrusters. No effect.
I love how he's just doing the car sound effect. They're just playing all of the dramatic sound effects right now. All of them. Oh my God.
Now, we don't have the transcript from here.
I'm actually disappointed they didn't go someone just shouting, "My leg!" in the background. Or the Wilhelm scream.
So we'll just presume that at the time, Canterville said something very quirky and millennial.
Shit.
Like, so that just happened. But what we do know is that he and the
No.
pilots then jumped on the radio and got in contact with the Port Authority.
We fuck.
We've got something to tell you, and you gotta promise not to get mad. Shut up. Look, listen, we're gonna need a tugboat. We are run
few of 'em.
aground. The helmsman takes a turn at being millennial. There are other ships right behind me, aren't there? Uh-huh.
Oh, it's the joke about the meme of there's someone right behind me. Okay, that would do it. I was wondering what he meant by being a millennial for a second.
And there were, as the queue of container ships piling up behind them got longer and longer.
Blaring the horn.
Make that 2 tugboats. So what happened here exactly? And who is in big trouble?
Considering we don't know their names, I'm sure they're definitely still alive, and a military junta running the country of Egypt had no very drastic, very sudden, very unplanned incidents ever involving falling out of a accidental window accidentally with a bullet in the back of the head accidentally that you definitely did yourself accidentally, and that it was never acknowledged or talked about, because that would accidentally never happen.
Explainer time.
Oh, and I'm
There
being
are
right.
3 main causes to why.
Oh, and Martin, it's 5. Oh, yeah, you're right. I have a few minutes left. I'll have to head out. But yeah, thanks for the reminder of that one.
The ship crashed. Let's start with the wind.
Yeah?
The captain could have very easily said, guys, the wind is far too severe. Let's postpone. But he didn't. However, the blame's not all on Canthaville. The 2 pilots could have also said, let's just follow protocol. By radioing in to HQ and saying, yes, get us 2 tugboats, please.
Oh.
With 1 on each side at the front.
Oh, so apparently tugboats were part of the actual procedures. I was kind of wondering why they didn't have a tugboat to do it. I guess they just don't want to pay for tugboats to go a 12-hour shift. Makes sense, but yeah. Especially if most ships, under normal circumstances, don't need it.
They would have had far more stability and control. And they wouldn't need to erratically fight about with the wind to stay in the middle of the lane. Second cause, the speed of the ship.
Yeah.
Now, it was the red pilot who told the helmsman, accelerate the ship to 22 kilometers per hour. But when he did that, they were already driving at the speed limit for their weight class, 14 kilometers per hour.
Oh.
And telling the helmsman to go beyond that meant that they are technically breaking the rules. And while I agree that some rules are made to be broken, going this fast in a very large ship in a comparatively small canal causes a whole bunch of problems to do with
I just realized as this scene goes on and he keeps using the Baron in the bath, he's been adding extra things to it, like the rubber ducky in the boat, the toy boat.
fluid dynamics. Big problems. Huge.
5 fun physics phenomena.
No, I
What?
don't know the physics, and if I did,
Google the bank effect. Zones of high and low pressure caused by the quick displacement of water cause the ship to be pulled towards the bank at the rear of the ship and repelled from it at the front. The closer the ship is to the bank, the stronger this effect. This results in a consistent diagonal force that ultimately makes the ship overcorrect at every turn. Think of it like the reverse of what you go too slowly on a bike and it gets all wobbly. It's nothing like that, but it's still a fun image. Make sense? I actually know a bit about the bank effect because you can examine it really easily when you create bubbles in a bathtub, but only in the middle. You'll notice sometimes they float around, but when they get close to the edge, they see it sucked right to it. I have no idea if it's related to static electricity or not. I don't think it is. I mean, they literally just said it's a pressure dynamic. High pressure to low pressure, but I'm not entirely sure the details.
I wouldn't tell you. But what I will say is this. Speeding up causes something approximating oversteer. The ship becomes all slidey. I'm just going to turn a little bit to the left, but instead you go a lot to the left. I'll just turn right a little bit, but instead you turn to the right a lot. Remember how the cheerful navigator was like, come on guys, we have to get back to the center of the lane. Well, they can't, because every time they try to direct back to the center, the speed and the oversteer means they overshoot it. One more effect of going very
And they can't
fast.
go a little because it wouldn't change enough, probably.
I will sneeze. Wait for it.
What?
Take a look at this animation side on. Water pressure effects cause the ship to tilt. At this speed, the front is raised 6 meters higher than usual.
Oddly enough, this is a very pronounced effect that if you think of a speedboat, is the exact same thing where the front is all the way in the air. It's that effect. But I had absolutely no idea a freaking container ship would have that same effect. That I had no idea about.
Which means when they collide with the bank, combined with the high velocity,
It was already up.
they really wedge themselves in. But we can't just blame everything on the physicists,
I mean, we
because there's
can.
a third main cause: poor communication.
Mm.
English is the official language of pretty much every port.
Honestly, no, I would blame not getting the tugboat personally, because if that's a standard operating procedure, I mean, hell, even I was like, why don't they just get a tugboat? I know nothing about this, and I had that idea. Apparently, it was the right one. Do you know how bad things have to be for me to have the right idea? That should never be the case. If, hey, Airier is right, is said unironically, you're fucked. Also, I just realized everyone's reminding me I'm at the time I need to go now, so I'm going to cut this one here. Thank you for everyone reminding me about that, because I need to go and pick up my wife so she doesn't remind me that I said I would pick her up at 3 and then was 3 hours late again. That only happened twice this year. Yeah, that's on me. But yeah, I want to finish this because I'm actually really loving just getting into the details of this, because he's taking it, honestly, what is surprisingly a thoughtful look at this. And even though he is very much playing it up and lambasting it and having a lot of fun with it, they're bringing up a lot of direct, like, clips from what's going on and very much talking about the physics involved and being very thorough in every step of it. And I was not expecting that, because I've heard a little about the internet historian being crazy. And everyone in chat is reminding me, this is not normal. This is toned down. And I'm already thinking, this is insane. So yeah. Basically what I'm saying is, if you haven't already, there's a link below. We'll continue this later, and I'll see you guys then. But again, link, do that. You have? Great. I'll see you later. Adios.